The preparations you make before talking with a potential client are absolutely critical to getting the results you want. If you want to increase your skills to get hired, check out these 3 pre-meeting tips that will earn you more business. Most realtors focus on skills that will help them during a buyer meeting or listing presentation. And of course, those skills are important, but a solid foundation in advance will make all the difference. Preparation tip number 1, have a clear target. In every class or workshop that I teach, I include a discussion about the difference between a lead and a client. I'm amazed at how few professionals stop and think about this and how it impacts their ability to get hired. In order to be the one chosen for the job, you have to know who your target client truly is. This includes knowing how they think, how they operate, what's important to them, and what their hot buttons are. The answers to these questions will tell you what they're looking for when choosing someone to represent them. A little prep work and pre-qualifying will go a long way to be aware of what their needs are. Some people describe this as identifying their pain points. What do they need? What are they trying to change? And how can you provide that relief? Think through these things and be ready to show them how you can provide the solution. That's what I mean by having a clear target, because it's hard to hit a target that you're not focused on. Now, if you're not able to get a sense for their needs before you meet with the client, then your clear target in that case during the meeting will be to get those things out on the table as quick as possible, because anything left under the surface will stop them from making the decision to move forward with you. Preparation tip number 2, be ready to handle objections. We could talk about this one for hours, so we'll analyze this subject like crazy in future videos. But for now, the key takeaway is that clients almost always have questions and concerns. Some they are consciously aware of and will vocalize for you. Then again, sometimes they won't vocalize even the ones they are aware of. And the most tricky of all are the ones they have but are not consciously aware of. In essence, for these ones, they are relying on you to help them identify, quantify, and eliminate the objections. Regardless of the type, as I mentioned, you have to get them all resolved or they will remain reluctant to make a hiring decision and move forward. Understanding this is critical because sometimes I see agents fail to get hired even though they are clearly qualified and a great fit for that client. It leaves the agent confused and asking, why didn't I get hired? In those cases, the agent has confused not ready with not interested. Ultimately, the client wants the same thing you want or should want. A professional who cares enough to know what they need, what they want to accomplish, and how to accomplish it. The person who gets hired is the one who demonstrates that the best. When you sit down to identify the targets we talked about in preparation tip number 1, think through what objections they may have and how you can use your awareness of their needs to openly address their questions and concerns. Preparation tip number 3, be willing to accept any outcome. One of my favorite authors is renowned sports psychologist Bob Rotella. In one of his books, he talks about a former PGA Tour player, Brad Faxon, who is known for being consistently one of the best putters on tour. Brad once said about his putting, "As I prepare to take a putt, I'm 100% sure it's going to go in. But at the same time, I really don't care if it does or not." Now this is very hard to do, but very powerful. The principle he's describing here is that putting too many eggs into the basket of a singular particular outcome will actually prevent your brain's ability to remain calm, cool, and collected while at the same time having the ultimate confidence that you're going to succeed. There's an important balance there that can sometimes seem a little counterintuitive, but the people who are best at winning the business definitely possess this skill. Achieving this mentality takes incredible practice and it doesn't happen easily. It's really easy to say it and think you're doing it, but the truth is that we all do really sincerely want to get hired. So if we're being honest with ourselves, it's tough to genuinely have that ice in the veins mentality that Brad Faxon had while putting. But I can attest that this really does work. Most of my listings are at a commission 1 to 1.5% higher than the average commission. I give my seller clients a choice on what package they want to choose, and 80% of the time, they choose the higher priced option because they recognize the value of it. Now, the reason I bring this up is because I've learned to be genuinely indifferent on which package they choose. If they choose the normal commission amount, I'm just as satisfied as if they choose the one with the higher commission. But it's my indifference that lets them be free to assess all options without feeling like they're being led to or sold on a particular option. This skill comes with time and through lots of iteration, but it starts with your mental preparation before your meeting with the potential clients. If you mentally prepare beforehand to accept any outcome, it removes pressure from you, prevents you from seeming desperate, and it causes the clients to be more likely to recognize that you want what's best for them. All right, there you have it. Make your preparations more meaningful and you'll immediately begin to get more business.